Good to see you, Warden. Fighting the good fight, eh? I'm more of a man on a mission type. Chit-chat's boring if you ask me. No, the Royal Guard would spot you on sight. The Palace District sits atop a tall mesa, steep cliffs, only one way in, and that's how they like it. Right you are.
But one world, one life, one day.
Message for you, milady. More things to deliver. Goodbye.
But one world, one life, one
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts.
On it.
You hear about the note? Maybe we have some things we can talk about. You are of great interest to me. That's a very direct question. On the whole, I don't like direct questions. For the sake of this discussion, let's say I am. Who do you blame for a death? The sword or the swordsman? Crows are swords, instruments used by someone else for their own reasons. So, one of our swords is hired out. He and his employees will do their job or die trying. But the crows as a whole have no bias. I can't stress enough that I wasn't hired to do anything. An associate was, and he's failed. And failed badly. A client can always hire more help if the job isn't done the first time. But I am hoping we can make sure that doesn't happen. Ferelden is a busy place. Blight, civil war, other mayhem. Lots of people not getting along. Sometimes they really don't get along. Maybe want to do something about it. The people that handle that sort of thing can get real busy. It takes time to do a good job. Pride in your work and all. But customers have expectations. Not many people to turn to if you're short-staffed in some lines of work. So, someone that's crossed our path and lived, well, maybe they could help out. Make some coin. Everyone wins. I hand you a scroll. You read it, you learn about someone interesting. If you find out something happens to him, something unfortunate, then if we talk again, I give you money for letting me know.
I don't like the sound of this.
You don't like what's on the scroll? Don't do anything. Maybe he has an accident and someone else tells me all about it. That I cannot do. One master has a contract on you. But if you help us out, maybe if that master asks for help, he'll just get silence. Yes? There you go. Makes for fine reading. If that's all, luck be to you.
By order of the new Earl of Denerim, no one is to enter the alienage. There's been an elven uprising. Knife ears even have the gall to attack the Earl's only son. Killed him in cold blood. With the whole Urian family dead, the regent appointed Rendon Howe of Amaranthine the new Earl of Denerim. First thing he did was lead a purge of the alienage. It's a mess in there. When things are put back in order, the gates will be reopened. Now on your way.
Magic
Why do they call it a brothel? There's no broth. Or is there?
Tell your captain that our deal is now ironclad.
Stop playing games, Isabella! We want our
That
money!
scamp Kylon sent you, right?
you are speaking
Glad
to.
he hasn't forgotten
I will
about
give you a
us.
chance to
The
leave
mercenaries are
quietly.
right there. You'll hear about other things.
Someone needs to put you in your place. She's too good!
Be off with you now, and be glad I only took from you your gold. Fools. The Grey Warden. And I had heard that all the Ferelden Wardens were killed or exiled from this place. Oh, don't look so surprised. I've seen many of your kind in my journeys, and there is always something odd about you. But, Grey Warden or no, it is refreshing to see another woman who answers to no one. Now, what can I do for you, my dear? I assume you saw that little drama, and none of these poor brutes has ever proven a match for me. They are too clumsy and predictable. I fight with quickness and wit, rather than with brute force and strength. I call myself a duelist because I honed my skills in duels with warriors I encountered over the years. An unusual request, coming from a fearsome slayer of Darkspawn. I am flattered that you wish to learn from me, sweet thing. It will take you years of practice to achieve true mastery of the style, but I can teach you the basics. I do, however, wish to get to know my potential student better, so we shall call for a drink, and you will honor me with a game. Have you ever played Wicked Grace? It is easy to learn, but difficult to master. You must watch your opponent's moves as carefully as your own. Before we start, the cards must be shuffled. Shall I, or would you like to? Good. Go ahead, then. Are you done yet? 5 cards each to start with, and may the cleverest player win. Is it my turn again? You certainly have quick reflexes. I'm quite impressed. And as for me cheating, well, the game does not matter. I just wanted to see if you could outwit me. You have proven yourself quick and resourceful, and I would be honored to pass my skills on to you. Come, we will need some space for this.
This should be easy enough.
Turn around and walk, stranger. This affair is for White Falcons only. We're the toughest, meanest, and loudest mercenary band from the Free Marches. If you haven't heard of us yet, you will soon. Now get out. Get a load of this guard. You're telling us what to do? You aren't no common guard. You're with All How, aren't you? Men, let's clear out. Don't want to get on O'Kane's bad side, do we?
Tell Kylon I owe him one.
Yes. What? Is it customary where you're from to give complete strangers questioning looks? They call me Cassavir. I'm first mate on Captain Isabella's ship. More than this, you do not need to know. You are surprised to see another strong woman like yourself. Isabella commands the crew on the Siren's call. She is a remarkable woman, and as you saw, quite formidable. She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay me enough to duel her. I'm not so stupid as those two. Did you not see? They wanted money back. Some of them never learn. If Isabella consents to play a game with you, it's an honor. You do not ask for compensation if you lose. Isabella commands the crew on the Siren's call. She is a remarkable woman, and as you saw, quite formidable. She calls herself a duelist. But you cannot pay me enough to duel her. I'm not so stupid as those two.
Mind your manners here.
If you want something, talk to Sanga.
Welcome to the Pearl. I'm Sanga, the proprietor. Have a seat, get comfortable, and tell me what you need. Every one of my people here is a skilled craftsman, and don't let anyone tell you different. You'll have to go one at a time, I'm afraid. Our rooms aren't quite big enough to share between so many. But we can discuss that in a moment. So what would you like me to show you? The men or the women? Or some of both, if you prefer. Let's get started. On it.
Make a chantry, Templars, whoever say...
This should be easy enough.
I could have handled it. Thanks. I think I need to go hide somewhere.
Another Grey Warden supporter.
Not just a supporter, Payton. That's a Grey Warden. She's the one Arl Howe is looking for.
Our trap landed a Warden? You've got one chance to surrender. For what it's worth, I believe you. Not that I particularly care. We're not common guards, Warden. We're Howe's elite. Shavra, Tennant, and Jarvie, let's kill ourselves a Warden.
On it.
As you wish. On it.
I was hoping I'd find you. I heard about the Pearl. I don't know how, but you got them to leave with no fuss at all. The Pearl's workers will...
Nobody gives orders to my men but me. A little lesson in respect is in order.
I see. Don't bother sparing these louts. Things are about to get messy.
Warden senses danger.
people actually voluntarily attack you? Are they just stupid? Here's the payment I promised. I might have more work if you're interested. But I'm heading back to the market district. The back alleys are just too dangerous for me.
Let's get started. This should be easy enough. Warden senses tingling.
Kill him.
Finally, we get
Desperation isn't practical. Coming. Going to be me. Only one shall stand. Let's make this quick, shall we? As you wish. Right. This should be easy enough.
Yes? All right, let me take a look. What? This is terrible. My beloved.
Right. On it. This should be easy enough. Let's get started. Let's get started.
Let's end this quick. Let's grab some glory. This one feels good.
Let's make this quick, shall we? Time for some fun.
Have a smashing time.
You had it coming. Excellent.
It's too much.
That all you've got? No, quarter!
Now we go. I've defeated one.
On it. Let's get started. Right. something
killed
for
Raj.
you.
Get him!
Only one shall stand.
On it. As you wish. Let's get started. Right. On it.
Our continued friendship is guaranteed.
You!
We're about to send the boys to hunt you down. Boss says kill him.
Warden sends us.
I suppose that could have been worse.
This should be easy enough. Right. Right.
With this, you seal your guild's success.
You have some kind of problem? Oh? What was this about? How sad it is to see a Grey Warden manipulated. But I have no time to straighten this out for you. Men, let's teach the Grey Warden a lesson about trust.
On it.
Trap!
Let's get started. Come now, defend yourself. Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance? How about you? How about you?
This should be easy enough.
Something drawing near. Trap!
As a wraith. Right. As you wish.
Trap!
Let's get started. Let's get started. as a wraith.
Enemies approaching! Less fighting, more time, blast Show me what you've got. One shall stand.
As you wish. Right.
Come now, defend yourself.
This should be easy enough. Silent as a wraith.
I know not how you have survived thus far. Is it luck or providence? No matter. You will not survive this!
Enemies approaching!
Time for some fun! Is it just me, or do you actually think you have your weakness? Is that all you got? Only one shall stand!
On it. Right.
Magic exists to serve man and never
And after much sweat, blood and toil, her labors ended, and the world marveled at what she wrought.
Magic exists to serve man and never.
A little something extra. For friendship.
As you wish.
Good to see you back. I've got complaints in the Nord Noble Tavern that some mercenaries have invaded. Nothing violent has happened. The sellswords are probably just disturbing the nobles' rarefied conversation. Just drum the louts out of there. The barkeep doesn't mind some blood. Or sport, as she called it. Captain said Denerim won't miss a few dead mercenaries. Do what you will, and good luck. everything has finally started. Too much to hope they'd work it out, I guess.
I hear Ban Bronak got his helmet handed to him.
Of course he did. Terran Loghain is out there leading the troops, he is.
Well, I guess that's good. It's a victory, right?
Right.
What can I get you, stranger? What can I get you, stranger?
What are you looking at? We're the Crimson Oars. You haven't heard of us. We're mercenaries from all over the world. We have won many battles, and tonight we drink before the next. We happen to like the ale better here, the wine too. Less vomit on the floor. So long as we're paying, they're serving! Ha ha! Ha ha! You may have a point. Barwoman, you and your women are too old and shriveled. Too many damn clothes, right, boys? Ha ha ha! Oars, we go to the docks. Let's find us some wenches!
Good job clearing those louts out.
A little bird told me one of Logan's friends had an accident. Terribly unfortunate. You might want to look in the chest behind me. There might be something of interest. Find everything you need? Deal? Oh, I don't know what you mean. But if anything interesting happens, feel free to come back and consider that chest yours.
Edwina sends her thanks for getting rid of the Crimson Oars. Mind you, she's disappointed there was no fighting. Here's payment. You've helped out a great deal. I have something for you. The Market District is a whole sight better because of what you've done for us. I know this may not be much, but it's an extra thanks. A lot of folks swallow whatever lies are fed to them, but us believers will try and spread word about you and the Wardens. Thanks.
As you wish. Warden senses tingling. Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance? How about you? Time for some fun! Will make noises. Inspiration is an ugly perfume. As you wish.
There is much to do.
Trap! 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 Should be easy enough. As you wish.
All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. Well, the only one that's really worth telling is the story of the mission right before I came to Ferelden. But no, I would rather not. I shouldn't have said anything. Nothing that I would prefer to speak of. Perhaps another day, I'm sorry.
You're quite taken with each other, aren't you? It's hard not to notice the doe-eyed looks he gives you, especially when he thinks no one's watching. It's almost too sweet for my tastes, and I'm an old lady who should be making lace hearts and fuzzy blankets with animal motifs. No, I won't be making socks with pom-poms for you anytime soon. But that's hardly my point. I've noticed your blossoming relationship, and I wanted to ask you where you thought it was going. Alistair is a fine lad, skilled in battle, but quite inexperienced when it comes to affairs of the heart. I would hate to see him get hurt. You are a Grey Warden. You have responsibilities which supersede your personal desires. Love is ultimately selfish. It demands that one be devoted to a single person who may fully occupy one's mind and heart to the exclusion of all else. A Grey Warden cannot afford to be selfish. You may be forced to make a choice between saving your love and saving everyone else. And then what would you do? Nothing is certain. Not in these times. You cannot take anything for granted. I want you to be aware of this. You may have to save one or both of you unnecessary anguish later on. I have given my advice. Do with it what you will. What's on your mind? I try not to dwell too much on the mistakes of my past, of which there are many. I would go quite mad if I did that. But I do have one regret. The greatest misstep of my life, made even more grave because it had dire consequences for someone else. Years ago, I was assigned as mentor to a lad, Anarin. He was my first apprentice. Anarin was an elf, raised in one of the elven alienages, and he was very mistrustful of humans, especially humans in authority. All he knew of the humans was what he had seen in the alienage. He was very wary of us. What Anarin needed was time. Time to get used to his new home. Time to emerge from his shell, so we could build a rapport. I gave him no such time. I was young and arrogant. He is a mage, I thought. He needs to grow up and act like one. I expected too much from him, too quickly. I gave no consideration to his origin or his feelings, and he retreated further from me. All I could think of was how stubborn he was, how he was throwing away all his talent and his potential just to be difficult. Oh, very much so. Sometimes I would catch him practicing on his own, but if I asked him to show me what he could do, he would freeze up or fumble terribly. You cannot plant crops in the cold, wintry ground. You cannot teach a student who is closed off and unresponsive. Patience is what is needed, and I learned that too late to help him. Anarin ran away from the circle one night. I had berated him over some trivial, ridiculous matter that I no longer remember. I drove him away because of something utterly unimportant. He was a child, 14 at the time of his leaving. They had his phylactery, and they hunted him down. The phylactery is a vial of blood taken from a mage. But blood is connected to life, and your blood can be used to track you down. They called him Maleficar, a mage who practices forbidden magic, deserving of death. He was a child, misunderstood and lost. I begged the Templars to tell me if he suffered, if they gave him a quick death. I got no answers from them. I was his mentor, and they wouldn't even tell me what became of him. I should have known better. I had the best mentors. They were kind, compassionate. Why didn't I learn from them? I failed Anarin. All I had to do was listen to him. He would try to talk to me, and I would tell him to concentrate on his spells. He talked about the alienage sometimes, and the Dalish. He always talked about looking for the Dalish elves. The apprentices that came after Anarin benefited greatly from the lessons I learned from him. In a sense, he was my teacher, and I his student. And there it is. My story, my one greatest regret. What's on your mind? I will answer to the best of my ability.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? Where did you hear this? And you believe everything you hear? Not all minstrels are spies. Most are just singers and storytellers, but some of them are what we call bards. Bards are minstrels and more. Spies, as you say. Some say there is a bard order, but I don't think this is true. Many bards work alone or in small groups, doing the bidding of a patron who pays for their services. If there is an organization behind it all, no one knows who they are. Nobles, mostly. In Orlais, there is much rivalry amongst the highborn. They fight over land, influence, and the favor of the Empress. But they cannot do this openly because it is impolite, and in public they wear smiling faces and pretend to be civil. In secret, they plot and scheme to destroy each other. It is a game completely meaningless to anyone but its players. I have revealed too much, it seems, but it doesn't matter what I used to be. It is the past. I found myself in Ferelden and sheltered from bad weather in the Chantry, and when the storm passed, I just did not want to leave. I like to say the Maker brought me here. Something I can help with? There's an idea. I've watched you, and I do think you'd find some of my skills quite easy to pick up. Let's just go over there, away from the others, for safety, yes? I expect there shall be daggers flying about willy-nilly for a time. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
So, all this time we've spent together, you know, the tragedy, the brushes with death, the constant battles with the whole blight looming over us. Will you miss it once it's over? I know it might sound strange, considering we haven't known each other for very long, but I've come to care for you a great deal. I think maybe it's because we've gone through so much together. I don't know. Or maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe I'm fooling myself. Am I? Fooling myself? Or do you think you might ever feel the same way about me? So I fooled you, did I? Good to know. That wasn't too soon, was it? Well, I'll have to arrange that then, won't I? Maker's breath, but you're beautiful. I am a lucky man. Now, let's get back to what we were up to before, lest I forget why we're here.
Again? I'm game. All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you do so. How nice. All right, but I get to stare at you luridly while you...
Your desire is my command. Well, we're in camp. Now's as good a time as any to talk, right? Join you? In your tent? Oh, that's not it at all. Not that I want to seem overeager. I must sound like a fool. You know that I've never done anything like this with anyone. I was quite sheltered after all. I care for you so much. Whenever I think of this, I feel like a bumbling idiot. All hands. I wish I could be better at this. I want it to be right. I really do, don't I? I keep telling myself that. I don't know. I'm willing to give it a shot, if you are. Right. I'm going to stop talking now. You know, according to all the sisters at the monastery, I should have been struck by lightning by now. Sure. But if you get hit by the lightning afterwards, it hardly seems like an effective deterrent. You do realize the rest of our little party here is going to talk, right? They do that. Oh sure, now you say that. By tomorrow it'll be icy glares and awkward silences right before battle. Just you watch. So, what now? Where do we go from here? Right, I can handle that. I hope. Before we go, I just want to thank you. No one's ever made me feel this way. I wasn't sure it could happen, in fact. Good to know.
You called. Speak, then. What were they doing? It did not look like it served any purpose. That word means nothing to me. They study. They learn their place in the world. Parents, are you speaking nonsense on purpose? If you insist on speaking, use real words. Tamasrans. But the Emekari are not theirs. They belong to the Kunari, not the priesthood. You let your Emekari be raised by them? That explains much. Can we move on? Very well. It obviously didn't work for you. I liked it. You are a Grey Warden, yet you know little of your own order. You do not know yourself or what you are for. It was cruel of your people to leave you this way. The Tamasrans see that all Kunari know themselves. Because you cannot decide who they are. Decide then. Why do you hesitate? It is your task to fight the Archdemon, isn't it? If you fail, preparation beforehand will have been pointless, and if you succeed, it will be by sheer chance anyway. At least we would be going in the right direction. I weary of this. Can we move on? Very well. What makes it mine? It was theirs to begin with. They knew me before I was born. I was birthed on the day they chose, placed in the world by their hands. When I die, it will be the Tamasrans who note my passing. I am their work. What I do is for my people, always. That would be a waste. A life is so much greater than a single man. There is little point in pursuing this. We should move on. Very well. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
It doesn't have better things to do. On then.
I await your command. So, full of questions, are you? Possibly, if I had the desire to. I do not. Perhaps you should dispense with your threats. I will pass on my mother's knowledge if and when it suits me.
If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me. There's been another clash of forces, this time north of Lothering. Both the Benorn and Loghain are saying that they won this clash, so we're not sure exactly what happened yet. From the sounds of it, I think the forces accidentally crossed each other and began fighting. What a bloody mess. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Right.
What are you doing in Haven? There's nothing for you here. No, you do not. I would have been informed if someone was expecting a visitor. Who? Perhaps revered Father Eirik will know of whom you speak. Unfortunately, he's ministering to the villagers at the moment and cannot be disturbed.
A revered father, huh? That's new. I wonder what this means.
It's always been thus in Haven. We do not question tradition. Our ways are not the ways of the lowland cities. The urn is nothing but a legend. I do not know who Brother Genetivi is or what he says. However, I'm sure people can convince themselves of anything. No. It's always been thus in Haven. We do not question tradition. Ask and be on your way. Father Eirik is our spiritual leader and guide. He's in the chantry giving a sermon. You should not disturb him. Haven's always been here. My family knows no other home. We keep to ourselves. We see no need to announce our presence to the world. It's more peaceful that way. Then perhaps you should return to the lowlands. We do not appreciate lowlanders looking about our home as though it was some sort of zoo. You may trade for supplies at the shop if you wish. Then I suggest you and your companions leave.
Did it just get a lot colder, or is it just me?
This should be easy enough.
Come, come, Bonnie Lynn. Tell us where you've been. Were you up, were you down? Chasing rabbits round the town. Come, come, Bonnie Lynn. Tell us where you've been. Come, come, Bonnie Lynn. We've a bed to put you in. It is soft, it is warm. It will shelter from the storm. Come, come, Bonnie Lynn. We've a bed to put you in. Dear, dear Bonnie Lynn. Sleeps the peaceful crib within. A mossy stone, a finger bone. No one knows but Lynn alone. Dear, dear Bonnie Lynn. Sleeps the peaceful crib within. Who are you? You shouldn't be here. Who? Why would you come here looking for someone? Lowlanders don't belong here. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Haven is Haven, but I have a secret. Do you want to see? Over by the mountain. It's lucky. I keep it with me. Don't tell anyone, all right? You're gonna be in trouble when they find you.
So, Shale.
On it.
When you were standing there all that time, did you sleep?
I have no need to sleep. My body does not tire or do other flesh-related functions.
But don't you get bored? Wouldn't you want to dream at least?
I do not dream. This is what it does when it sleeps. It paws its nose and mumbles incoherently.
Yes, of course. I thought we all... Huh. You watch me?
I watch all closely when they are still at night. There is little else to do.
For hours and hours?
I count the breaths. It helps to overcome the overwhelming urge to crush their faces while they sleep.
Well, I won't be doing much of that anymore. I've never heard of any village out this way. Is this place even on a proper map?
Leave me, stranger.
As you wish. Let's get started.
Who are you? You're not from Haven. We don't get very many visitors. How would you describe the place you know only as home? No, I've never heard that name. I don't have much, but I suppose you can take a look. What are you doing? That's private! I don't see how that is any of your concern. No! You have no right!
Right. As you wish. On it. As a wraith. Easy enough. Right. As you wish. On it.
We are blessed beyond measure. We are chosen by the Holy and Beloved to be her guardians. This sacred duty is given to us alone. Rejoice, my brethren, and prepare your hearts to receive her. Lift up your voices and despair not, for she will raise her faithful servants to glory when her... Ah, welcome. I heard we had a visitor wandering about the village. I trust you've enjoyed your time in Haven so far? This, my brothers, is what happens when you let an outsider into the village. They have no respect for our privacy. She will tell others of us if we let her. Word will spread, and then what? You, stranger, do not understand our ways. You would bring war to Haven in your ignorance. We don't owe you any explanations for our actions. We have a sacred duty. Failure to protect her would be a greater sin. All will be forgiven.
I think you have a chance. It's either you or me, and it isn't going to be me. This should be easy enough. As you wish.
Who are you? They sent you to finish it. You're not one of them, thank the Maker. Did I fall to my knees in front of it and weep? No. Did I discover its location? Yes. Haven lies in the shadow of the mountain that holds the urn. There is an old temple there built to protect it. The door is always locked, but I know what the key is. Iric wears a medallion that opens the temple door. I've seen what he does with it. Yes, that is your key. Take me to the mountainside and I will show you. All right. What is on your mind? Yes, of course. How could I forget? Iric said they were ambushed, some killed, a few brought back to Haven to be questioned. He was so self-righteous about it, so smug. He seemed pleased that he had tortured and murdered these men. I see. She must have been desperate. She couldn't have known she was sending them to their deaths. Let's just talk about something else now, shall we? Well, it wasn't exactly what I expected it to be. I do not know. When the chantry was established, it was decided that only female priests would ever be ordained. It is possible that the villagers, the disciples of Andraste, predate the chantry and so have no knowledge of the chantry's rules. They call themselves the disciples of Andraste, and they are very, very devoted. One could say fanatically so. They must be here to protect the urn, but they speak of Andraste as though she was still alive. I thought so at first, but I'm not so sure anymore. Was there something else you wanted to discuss? They seemed intent on finding out personal information about me, where I grew up, things like that. How do you know? An imposter? What happened to the real Waylon? Oh, poor Waylon. I should never have dragged you into this. Maker take you into his hands, my boy. He believed in me, even when I lost faith in myself. I will honor his memory. Was there something else you wanted to say? Ah, good. Help me up here. I'll try not to slow us down. Here we are. Give me the medallion, and let's see if I remember. Yes, you see, it can be manipulated, just like this. And there. A key to open the way. Now, where does this go? Give to have seen this hall in all its splendor, as it was meant to be. Still, sweep away the ice and the snow, and traces of beauty remain. I'm sorry, what? I was a little distracted, I apologize. These carvings were created just after Andraste's death, and they may reveal things about her life that we do not yet know. I think I need more time to study these statues and carvings. I could not keep up with you with my injuries. I should be safe. I don't think there are any villagers here. Go. I will be all right. Perhaps my destiny was only to lead you to the urn. It was designed to protect the urn from those who would steal it or do harm to it, namely the Tevinter Imperium. I'm not sure. The legends were never very specific on that point. Only the faithful shall lay eyes on the sacred ashes. Death and misfortune await the unbeliever. The Maker's gaze has fallen on Andraste's final resting place. He weeps for his beloved, and his wrath at her betrayers endures. That is what the legend says, and the Maker may indeed watch this place. Read between the lines, however, and you'll understand that it is merely a simple truth draped in hyperbole and metaphor. After all, no one wants to hear Willie toiled for many a year to perfect the curious mechanisms that would send a sharpened spike up the arse of the unwary intruder. I think my decision to stay here was the best one, don't you? I'll be right here if you need me. Now I need something to write on.
Maker's breath. Look at it all.
As you wish. As you wish. easy enough. On it. This should be easy enough. Let's get started. Desperation is an ugly perfume. On your guard! Trap! On it. Enemies approaching! Desperation is an
You will switch satisfying.
It called.
get started.
I sense something growing near. On it.
We'll have a smashing time.
Started. This should be easy enough. On it. As you wish. Right. On it. a wraith. Stay still!
That's it!
As you wish. This should be easy enough. Right. We must strike.
Your desire is my command.
This should be easy enough.
As you wish.
Silent as a wraith.
I suppose that could have been worse.
Right.
Time for some fun! Excellent!
Watch the demons. Enemies approaching! A little frantic? Well, I can see why. Right. Let's get started. Senses tingling. Let's make this quick, shall we? On it. Right. Light as a feather, silent as a reed. Isn't going to be me. quarter! Easy enough. And now, silent as a wraith. As you wish. On it. something drawing near.
Should be easy enough. This should be easy enough. As you wish.
Let's grab some glory!
Right. As you wish. Or do you actually think you This should be easy enough.
Let's keep back from the lava. Now!
That's a lot of blood.
I am ready.
This should be easy enough. As you wish.
Stop! You will go no further! You do not have the right to demand my name. You have defiled our temple. You have spilled the blood of the faithful and slaughtered our young. No more! You will tell me now, intruder, why you have done all this. Why have you come here? I am Father Colgrim, leader and guide to the disciples of Andraste. Kill us, and you will face Andraste. She will smell our blood, and the blood of her children on you, and her wrath will be great. She is so much more! She is even more glorious than all the old gods combined. The prophet Andraste has overcome death itself, and has returned to her faithful in a form more radiant than you can imagine. Not even the Tevinter Imperium could hope to slay her now. What hope do you have? None but the disciples may approach Andraste. She is not ready yet. But when the time is right, she will descend upon the nations in fiery splendor, and all will know her. But perhaps there is a way to make up for your recent transgressions. It may be because I believe in second chances. All of us stumble through the darkness before being found and shown the light. Perhaps, through Andraste's mercy, her greatest enemy will become her greatest champion. Atop this mountain lie the remains of the mortal Andraste. The urn is watched by an immortal guardian. He is trapped in the past and refuses to accept the risen Andraste. Now the ashes prevent Holy Andraste from fully realizing her new form. They are a remnant of her past incarnation, and she cannot move on as long as they exist. The Holy Andraste wishes us to reclaim her ashes for her, but the Guardian has always stopped us. The task is simple. I give you a vial of the Holy Andraste's blood, and you empty the vial into the ashes. Whatever magic was held in the ashes will be undone, and our great lady will be freed from the shackles of her past life!
I don't know if I like the idea of us helping this Colgrim.
Once that is done, you will have earned your place as our honored sister. You only need a small pinch for that. The rest of the power contained in the ashes must be returned to Andraste. The rewards will be great. You will share in Andraste's power and be blessed as one of her own. There is a great power contained in blood. Through Andraste's guidance, we have learned to harness it.
it can be yours, in exchange for a trivial task. A vial of blood emptied into the urn. That is all I ask. By the chantry that was established by those that murdered the first Andraste, why should you care what they forbid? Then we cannot allow you to leave here.
Is there a reason it refuses? There is power to be gained and it refuses? For what? Consider what it has to gain. These little humans as allies, power that it sorely lacks, all in exchange for placating their mad little god. Maybe not, but it certainly wasn't boring.
To arms, my brethren! Andraste will grant us victory!
As you wish.
On it. This should be easy enough. Right. Let's get started. Right. This should be easy enough.